I learned this one incredible piece of advice from Robert Kiyosaki. It changed the way that I do business, it changed the way I see businesses, and I want to share it with you. That's today's episode. Let's dive in. Here we are at our very first rental property. Hey everyone, I'm Clayton Morris, longtime real estate investor. I left my day job a number of years ago thanks to financial freedom, and now this channel is devoted to helping you build financial intelligence so you can build financial freedom. You have to build the financial intelligence first, something I learned from Robert Kiyosaki a number of years ago. Now, if you don't know who Robert Kiyosaki is, of course, he is the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the #1 business book of all time, and really my mentor from the moment I graduated college and I was a vagabond driving around the streets of Los Angeles trying to figure out what in the world I wanted to do with my life. I stumbled across this book, and I didn't know it then, but it really altered the trajectory of my life, understanding that you could buy performing assets that could cash flow, not having to work a day job, which would trade time for dollars, a W-2 job. So that's when the seed was planted. And then flash forward a number of years later, I'm lucky enough and still pinch myself that I get to sit down and interview Robert and the entire Rich Dad team. Welcome to Robert Kiyosaki. You know the great Robert Kiyosaki, Tom Wheelwright, Garrett Sutton, Darren Weeks, and Ken McElroy. This is a powerhouse. I don't know that we've ever had this much brain power in one room, and I'm not including myself, by the way. Good to see all of you guys this morning. Robert, I want to start with you. Of course, the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the famous book, the book that changed, I think, so many Americans' lives. If they haven't read it 20 years ago, you can still buy it today, go out and read it. When you're putting together a team of entrepreneurs, when you're thinking about starting your own business, what do you look for in a team of experts to surround yourself with?
Well, number one, obviously, is integrity. People actually do what they do. They practice what they preach. But like you were talking about President Trump, you know, he has a team of advisors. And all the entrepreneurs out there, it is more important than money is your team of advisors, because nobody's that smart. But you have a smart team, you have a better chance of success.
And we talked about how you can't do it all on your own. You have to build a team. But that was the start. That was the start when I became friends with Robert. I'm now lucky enough to call Robert a friend. Little did I know that that would grow into a friendship that would last a lifetime. So I've flown out to Arizona to be with Robert at his house and his wife, speaking in the Rich Dad offices, and to be able to stand next to Robert in front of a room full of entrepreneurs who have all gone through enormous struggles in their life was really one of the most memorable moments of my life, to stand there next to Robert. It was a short time after this event that I went through one of the most challenging and heart-wrenching periods of my life, professionally and personally. I lost a lot of weight, lost a lot of money, had a business partner that essentially ripped us off, lied to us, deceived us, and really affected our business in a dramatic way. Well, Robert got wind of this and gave me a call on a Saturday afternoon. And I remember where I was walking with my family at a festival in the Pennsylvania mountains. And we talked for like an hour. And Robert said something to me, a profound piece of business advice that I will take to my grave. And I want to impart it to you now, because if any of you have ever struggled, professionally or personally, I think this could help you tremendously to frame and put this in perspective for you. He knew what I was going through, and he said, I want you to understand something. He said, this is a pivotal moment in your business and in your life. He said, you're going to get through it, and you're going to grow tremendously as a result of it, because that's the type of person you are. Now, he was right. I didn't realize it at the time. It felt devastating to me. But we were already planting the seeds. We were already changing things in our business to grow tremendously as a result of this. And then he said something to me, which I think is profound, and one of the most important pieces of business advice I've ever heard. He said, he will never do business with a business or person who has not been kicked in the teeth, beat up, dragged through the mud, and gone through an incredible, gut-wrenching, difficult situation in their business. This is when you see what someone is made of, he said. I don't want to hear about people's successes. We all have successes. But until you've been beat up like this, until you've gone through an incredibly debilitating, almost to the point where you're at financial ruin, you feel like your life is over, you don't think you can go on, until you've been through that, you have not been in business. Show me someone who has gone through it and has come out the other side. That's a person that I want to do business with.
So I borrowed another $100,000. And I went to my CPA, my CFO, Stanley. So I said, Stanley, will this $100,000 solve our inventory problem? He goes, yes, it will. So I gave Stanley the check, and he ran off with it. I had no signed documentation. I turned it over to him. He said I owed him the money. So that was one of my first, six-figure, seven-figure mistakes.
And you know what's amazing? Is that message really permeates all of the Rich Dad team. Speaking to Tom Wheelwright, one of the smartest tax accountants in the world, and the author of Tax-Free Wealth and a Rich Dad advisor and a great friend, he said, I don't want to hear about people's successes. He said, when you have gone through something like this and you've been able to come out the other side of it, that is the test of a true entrepreneur. A true entrepreneur is only someone who has gone through the darkest, most debilitating time and has come out the other side of it. How did that sit with me? I thought, wow, I can use this as a tremendous opportunity to grow and stand strong and to bounce back, and then to build my company to be stronger than ever. And that's exactly what we've done at Morris Invest. But I think what was so important about what Robert was saying is that we can also teach others how to rise up in these situations. I think one of the most important takeaways from what Robert said to me is that we all have a chance to teach others who are facing difficult times. There are so many fake teachers out there, certainly on YouTube. There's all sorts of fake gurus who've never been through any adversity in their business, their real estate investing journey. They had an eviction one time. Ooh, that's tough. How about have millions of dollars be stolen from you? Then talk to me, okay? Then talk to me about it. There are a lot of lessons in what Robert was saying, and it wasn't just about someone going through adversity. It's about someone being humbled and growing as a result of that adversity. So when you talk to other businesses, when you talk to mentors and gurus that exist, find out if they're a fake teacher. Find out if they're real. Have they gone through difficult times and bounced back? Don't ask them what their successes are. I don't care what your success story is. I care what your most difficult, darkest, most hurtful experience in life is. How did you bounce back from that? That makes you a true entrepreneur. That makes you someone that I want to do business with. So standing up in that room next to Robert in front of a bunch of entrepreneurs, and Robert asked me, have you ever gone through a difficult challenge in your life? And I said, absolutely I have. And here's what happened. And I went around the room and I asked everyone else in that room in front of Robert, I said, how many people here have ever gone through a debilitating, gut-wrenching, punched in the nuts moment in your business where you thought, oh my God, I'm dead. I am never going to get up from this. I can't sleep at night. I have heart palpitations. Every hand in that room went up. Every hand in that room went up. Those are the people that I want to hang out with. So if you're facing a challenge so debilitating, so gut-wrenching, so punch-in-the-nuts difficult that you don't think you're ever going to get up, guess what? This is your moment. This is your opportunity to stand up. This is what businesses are made of. This is what humans are made of. This is what men are made of. Stand up and fight and get back on your feet. That's the number one piece of advice that I'd ever gotten from Robert. And I wanted to share that with you. Please hit like and subscribe to my channel. We try to help you build financial intelligence. No fake teachers here. We'll see you next time.